On April 17th, 2026, something resets in the sky, and most people won't notice it. But their life decisions will shift anyway, because this new moon in Aries is not emotional. It's a reset of identity itself. If you've been feeling pressure, restlessness, or the sense that you can't stay the same version of yourself anymore, this is why, and what happens next is rare. On April 17th, the sun and moon meet in Aries. This is called a new moon, a reset point. A new emotional cycle begins. Aries is ruled by Mars, the planet of action. This is why people feel restless before this moment. Aries energy doesn't ask for reflection. It forces movement. But this is not a normal new moon. In April 2026, there is a stellium in Aries. Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Neptune. Mars pushes action. Mercury speeds up decisions. Saturn makes everything serious. Neptune makes it feel destined. Before the new moon becomes visible, there is the dark moon phase. Everything feels unclear. But this is reset silence. And then it happens, the Aries cycle begins. And what was stuck starts moving again. People often quit jobs, start relationships, end cycles, make sudden decisions. Before we go into how this affects each zodiac sign, pause for a second. Comment ready if you feel a shift happening in your life right now. If you want more deep astrology breakdowns like this, subscribe, because what comes next in 2026 astrology is even stronger. Now let's see how this shift affects each zodiac sign. Aries, center of explosive energy. You're not just feeling change. You are becoming the source of change. The sun and moon give you full alignment of your internal and external self. Mars amplifies action, Mercury speeds up decisions, and Saturn makes everything feel serious. Neptune adds the feeling that you are moving not just somewhere but towards something important, almost fated. And this creates a moment where hesitation becomes shorter, almost instinctive, like your reactions are being rewritten in real time. You may feel that life is no longer asking for preparation, but for immediate response. And this is where your environment starts reacting to you differently. People may see you as more direct, more decisive, even more intense than usual. Situations that were slow suddenly accelerate around you. Prediction, a bold move you make now can redefine your path for months ahead. But the key is awareness. Not every fast decision is the right direction. Deep influence, destruction of old identity and birth of a new one. Advice, don't make decisions only on adrenaline, add awareness. Taurus, hidden internal reset. For you, all this energy goes inward into the subconscious. Mars and Mercury do not create external action, but internal tension and self-dialogue. Saturn brings up old fears and Neptune can blur reality, and this begins a quiet internal shift, where stability is no longer defined the same way it used to be. You may feel emotionally detached from things that once felt permanent or necessary, and this detachment is not loss. It is recalibration. Your values are being rewritten from the inside. Prediction, something you once relied on emotionally or financially may begin to lose importance. This is not instability, it is preparation for a new form of security. Deep influence, completion of old psychological cycles. Advice, give yourself silence, you are closing the past, not starting the new. Gemini, overload of ideas and signals. Mercury, your ruler in Aries, creates a sharp acceleration of thinking. Mars adds speed, sun and moon activate new goals. Neptune makes ideas inspiring but chaotic. Saturn tries to structure this flow, but cannot always keep up. And this creates a mental state where thoughts come faster than they can be processed. You may feel like multiple directions are opening at the same time, competing for attention. And this is where clarity must be chosen, not expected. Your mind is generating possibilities faster than reality can handle. Prediction, one conversation, message, or idea can suddenly shift your direction, but only if you recognize it and act on it. Deep influence, rewiring of mind and information field. Advice, don't chase all ideas, choose one and ground it. Cancer, pressure on life path and purpose. Sun and moon in Aries force you out of comfort zone. Mars pushes action, Saturn demands responsibility. Neptune creates feeling of something bigger. And this pressure slowly pushes Emotional comforting to the background, making decisions more necessary than optional. You may feel life asking you to choose direction instead of staying in emotional safety. And this can feel like being emotionally unprepared, but externally required to act. Situations may demand maturity faster than expected. Prediction: a decision connected to career, purpose, or direction becomes unavoidable. The more you resist, the more pressure builds. Deep influence: reconstruction of life direction. Advice: don't hide in emotions, choose your path. Leo, expansion through risk. Sun, your ruler in Aries, amplifies growth. Mars pushes action, Mercury brings ideas. Neptune brings dreams, Saturn tests your readiness. And this creates situations where visibility becomes unavoidable. Even if you don't feel fully ready for it, you may feel pushed into action before confidence fully forms. And this is where growth becomes visible to others. You are not just evolving, you are being seen evolving. Prediction: a risk you take now may lead to recognition or new opportunity, but only if you allow yourself to step forward. Deep influence: expansion beyond old identity. Advice: take risks but keep strategy. Virgo, breakdown of control. Mercury, your ruler in Aries, makes thinking sharp and unfamiliar. Mars breaks old systems, Saturn pressures. Neptune dissolves control, and this creates a sense that control no longer guarantees predictable results. You may notice that flexibility becomes more important than precision in daily life, and this forces you to operate in uncertainty instead of structure. Systems that worked before may feel outdated or inefficient. Prediction: changes in routine, work, or planning force you to adapt quickly. Growth comes through flexibility, not perfection. Deep influence: letting go of illusion of control. Advice: accept uncertainty, this is your growth. Libra, relationship turning point. Aries is your opposite sign, so this stellium directly impacts relationships. Mars may trigger conflict, Mercury brings sharp conversations. Saturn brings serious decisions. Neptune brings illusions about partners. And this makes relationship dynamics more visible through action and reaction rather than assumptions. You may feel that emotional clarity comes through situations, not explanations. And this can reveal imbalance that was previously ignored. You may see people more clearly than before. Prediction: a relationship may shift direction quickly, either deepening or ending. Truth becomes more important than harmony. Deep influence: exposure of true relationship dynamics. Advice: don't avoid truth, even if it breaks illusion. Scorpio, life restructuring through action. Mars, your ruler in Aries, strengthens you but demands action. Saturn enforces discipline, Mercury speeds decisions. Neptune adds intuition. And this creates internal pressure, where unfinished situations become impossible to ignore anymore. You may feel that action is no longer optional, but necessary for emotional clarity. And this transforms emotional intensity into movement. You are pushed to resolve rather than reflect. Prediction: decisive action leads to a major shift in your environment or priorities. What you act on now defines your next phase. Deep influence: transformation through direct action. Advice: don't just feel, act. Sagittarius, surge of life and desire. Aries fire resonates with you. Mars gives energy, Sun and Moon start new cycle. Neptune inspires, Mercury brings ideas. And this returns a stronger sense of direction behind your desires, not just expansion for its own sake. You may feel motivation becoming more focused than before. And this is where inspiration becomes actionable. You are no longer just exploring. You are choosing. Prediction: a new project, direction, or opportunity appears suddenly. And this time, you are ready to follow through. Deep influence: return of life force. Advice: direct energy into creation or projects. Capricorn, pressure on foundation. Saturn, your ruler in Aries, feels tense. Internal conflict between control and fast action. Neptune adds uncertainty, Mars adds pressure. And this exposes which structures in your life are still efficient and which are becoming too heavy to maintain. You may feel pressure to rebuild rather than continue holding old systems. And this can feel like instability, but it is actually restructuring. What is outdated begins to collapse naturally. Prediction: long-term plans or responsibilities shift direction. This is a rebuilding phase, not an ending. Deep influence: breakdown of old structures. Advice: rebuild foundation instead of holding on to old systems. Aquarius: mental breakthrough. Mercury and Mars bring fast ideas. Saturn demands structure, Neptune expands perception. And this creates moments where scattered thoughts suddenly connect into clear patterns. You may realize that what seemed random before now has direction and logic, and this allows you to see the future differently. Insight becomes clarity instead of confusion. Prediction: one realization can completely change your perspective or plans. Ideas become actionable faster than before. Deep influence: cognitive upgrade. Advice: write down insights that matter. Pisces: clash between dream and reality. Neptune, your ruler in Aries, activates dreams into action. But Saturn tests reality, Mars demands movement, and this creates tension between imagination and execution, where ideas start asking for real-world form. You may feel that simply imagining is no longer enough without action, and this is where dreams are tested by reality. Some dissolve, but others begin to take shape. Prediction: a dream or vision starts becoming real through small actions. This is the moment where imagination turns into direction. Deep influence: turning dreams into action. Advice: stop only feeling, start doing.